During the interview segment of a skill training show, she was asked to share her most embarrassing moment. I paused for a moment and then said, back in elementary school, I pretended to be a boy to trick a girl, and as a result, I converted that girl. The best actor cast a cold glance at me. I slightly narrowed, his tone unamused as he asked, in elementary school, you dated a girl online, pretending to be a girl to get close to her, only to get blocked after confessing. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen closely. After severing ties with my parents, I stormed into the entertainment industry, furious. Because of my delicate, fragile yet innocent appearance, my agent, Miss Fatu, found me a show with less intense demands. She repeatedly advised me to build the image of a fragile beauty. I agreed, stepping confidently onto the path to becoming a star. At the filming location, I realized that the room was full of veterans from the entertainment world, while I was just a tiny newcomer. I glanced around nervously. There was Aitra, the co-best actor Chepi Chan, the young male idol Lee Ziyan, the training star Tuan Ne, the young best actress, and the curtly hot little flower. Hururo. The show's rule paired two people into groups to complete tasks given by the production team. Being a low-profile rookie, I was modest and stood quietly aside. To heighten excitement, the director changed the schedule and added a requirement: each pair must be male and female. I noticed Kabichin slightly furrowing his brows. On reflection, this guy was just as the legend said, usually not close to beautiful women. Others didn't react much. In fact, Shan Chen and Hu Yaoyou looked rather pleased. I sighed softly and silently prayed to be teamed up with Li Zi and a fellow newbie so the other two wouldn't be ordinary people. One was arrogant and the other overly meticulous, but the result was disappointing. Tuan Ne and Li Ziyan formed a team, as did Hu Yaoyou and Shan Chen. That left me forcibly paired with Kabichin. Perhaps my feelings were too obvious because Kabichin fixed me with a cold gaze. What's wrong? Don't want to team up with me? I smiled sincerely and awkwardly. How could that be? It's just that I can't believe my luck I actually got put together with you, Chubichin. He growled coldly, put on his sunglasses, and strode away. I exhaled in relief. Pouting, damn. If I hadn't just started, I'd have given in to your charm already. Once the live stream started, to boost atmosphere, the production staff were all strangers. The director urged a warm-up session. Dear guests, let's chat first. Warm up before the main segment. Everyone nodded in agreement. The director began interviews, starting with the youngest among us. He touched his bald head holding a card, the three of clubs, and said, please, our theme today is share your most embarrassing incident. I said, Tui, you're up. I was surprised. Why pick me among all these veterans? I rubbed my chin and thought for a moment. Finally recalling an embarrassing memory from elementary school, I pretended to be a boy to get close to a female classmate. Best actor Kabi-chan cut in before the director could respond. Seeing his eyelids flutter, his eyes shone with hidden meaning, making me feel pressured. All 16 pairs plus the director were staring intently at me. I swallowed nervously. Then, the girl confessed to me first. Tuan Ne was the first to react. Slamming the table hard, I rubbed my chin, looking left and right. Kiddo, you're really something. I need to examine you carefully. How does this face have the charm to comfort a girl like that? I was suddenly grabbed by the chin and couldn't say a word. I had no choice but to desperately explain, sis. I was dating online back then, never met her in person. Everyone was a bit surprised, processing my Chinglish, then burst out laughing. The show started heating up, with more viewers joining the live stream. Funny comments appeared. Who's this artist? Never heard of her before. Laughing so hard, a 3-year-old girl dating online? How can people still date online without meeting in person? Stop laughing upstairs. This sister's experience matches mine. My first love was online too. We officially dated the night before, only for my dad to confiscate my phone the next day and my boyfriend vanished. How could this beauty be so funny? Because of her comedic talent, I decided to become her fan. At that moment, unaware of the comments, I didn't realize my fragile beauty image had crumbled in an instant. The camera cut back to everyone laughing heartily, everyone except Chip-E-chan. He smiled coldly, his gaze dangerous, but said nothing. A chilling laugh suddenly like a red alert cut through. The lively atmosphere halted, feeling eyes on me. I looked up and saw Chip-E-chan, facing his cold stare. My heart raced wildly. I wondered who was provoking this ancient force, filling me with dread. Why put me in a team with this damn unpredictable guy? Seeing the atmosphere turn icy, the director hurriedly continued, having shared embarrassing moments. Now it's Bi-chan's turn. Come on, tell us about your interesting life story. Kai Bi-chan thought for a moment, curling the corner of his lips. Eyes flicking toward me, scrutinizing. I couldn't stand his sharp gaze and quietly stepped back behind Li Ziyan. His look suddenly turned cold and sharp, glaring so fiercely I froze in place. He cleared his throat softly, his thin lips parted. In elementary school, I dated a girl online, pretending to be a girl to get close to her. Everyone gasped, surprised the co-best actor also dated online, and at an early age. I felt uneasy, anxious, as if everything felt familiar, almost confirming my suspicion. Right then, someone raised a doubt. The director sparked trouble again. Hey, Bi-chan, you didn't get tricked, did you? We don't care, but yours sounds like the male version of Tanian's story. Kai Bi-chan narrowed his eyes, continuing to stare at me intensely. Not only was I blocked after confessing to him, but he muttered to himself, I wasted all my year's savings buying an Iron Man model for her. I exhaled softly. At that time, I hadn't received any special gifts, just that Iron Man model I prayed to have daily as a child. He prolonged the last syllable regretfully. Too bad I got blocked before I could give it. My heart trembled harder, blinking reflexively. When Connie, I tend to blink a lot. Suddenly, I remembered before that girl was converted, every day I told her I wanted a special Iron Man model. But when she confessed, I reprimanded her sternly with the 5 teachings of Uncle Ho, then blocked her. I was pretty sure now that was karma tearing my life apart. The comment storm surged, the screen flooded with clueless audience remarks. I bet their connection is faded, haha. Why do I feel so much sweetness? Look at that gaze, almost diabetic. What kind of fairy tale love is this? So sweet. Neither of them has a problem. I should go to the matchmaker god's temple now and light some incense. But some fans of the best actor protested, don't talk nonsense. How could our idol care about someone like her? Funny day today. I've never even heard the name Kitunian before. How could our male idol pay attention to her? Watching Life After a Boring Career is about to be renamed Life After Love by netizens. The director quickly moved on to the other members. Only then did my trembling heart calm down. I swore that if Bi-chan forced me to answer such questions again, I'd rather die than admit it. The first day had no tasks. The director assigned rooms and let us rest. Filming starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. I hurriedly finished dinner and ran. Since my room was right next to Bi-chan's, if I didn't move fast, I might be exposed immediately. Back in the room, I sighed. Looks like my acting career is about to fall apart. Damn it, who would have thought the girl I converted as a kid is now a top veteran? Speaking of Kai Bi-chan, maybe I haven't introduced him properly. He's the youngest ever triple golden best actor in the industry. From debut until now, he has never faced a scandal. Famous for being a cold Casanova, 2 years ago, he reduced film projects. Fans speculated he might retire early, but most didn't believe that since he's only 28 with a bright future ahead. The production rented a homestay at the foot of a mountain. At night, the cool mountain breeze and chorus of frogs took me back to childhood. I'd finished bathing long ago, lying in bed, the blanket pulled over my head, afraid someone might grab me and pull me down. After a while, exhausted, I drifted off. I felt like I hadn't slept long when dawn came. I was rudely woken by a knock. Furious, I opened the door with panda-like eyes. Disturbing someone's sweet dreams is like murdering their soul, got it? But when I opened the door, I was the one scared. Kitunian, 3 years old, teasing a 5-year-old dog, climbing walls, self-proclaimed undefeated in the world, finally met my nemesis at 21. Now I was like a fish on a chopping block. Bi-chan stood there. I was looking for you. Anything wrong, Mai? Tall and slender, clad in sporty clothes highlighting his soft physique, his voice cold, proud, almost alien. Within an instant, it crushed my earlier boldness. Sitting on my bed, awake yet? I nodded innocently. Awake, awake. Scared awake, fully conscious, ready for breakfast, I looked up to see cameras behind him. My brain instantly calculating, shoot, I'm still wearing my Iron Man pajamas, thank heavens. Terrified, ignoring his expression, I slammed the door shut. First thing after closing the door was to flip the room upside down, searching for my phone. Opening the live read, the comment storm was wild. No heartache detected. I could only block the flood and read the comments. Another day, another chance to show off the male idol. Sporty clothes and handsome like that, sob sob. Kirtanian is so lucky. I kind of want a male idol wake-up call like this. Despite my strong words, I also want it. I want to become Kirtanian for 3 minutes plus 10,086. Phew, I hugged my chest and sighed in relief. Luckily, thanks to Chibicho's dazzling aura, no one noticed my Iron Man pajamas. I hadn't washed up before going downstairs, eyeing the worn notebook on the table. It was a treasured notebook personally given by Manager Vutu, a product of her years of effort. With the notebooks I have and lose, you know the rest. I stared at it for 2 seconds, then decisively stuffed it into my suitcase. Why leave such a powerful secret weapon lying around for everyone to see? I thought I already grasped its essence. At the dining room, everyone gathered. The little flower Hururo glanced around, fixed eyes on me with non-stop sweet smiles. Haha, Tutut is so lucky to sleep in so long and have Tibi come upstairs calling his bad sister himself. I smirked at seeing this trick many times. My old man is pretty old but still often approached by middle-aged ladies. Just as I planned to tease, someone else beat me to it. Tibi-chun checked his watch calmly. Miss Hu, it's 6:59 am. She's not late. And moreover, I'm an only child. Just call me by my name. Hulalio's face stiffened. She had planned to warm up with Kebi-chan but got no respect. Tuan Mid chuckled quietly, saying nothing. Only Li Ziyan and Shan Chen tried to mediate. Chibi-chan ignored them, busy putting on disposable gloves, breaking fried dough sticks into hot soybean milk. Then he motioned me over to eat breakfast. I sat down, indifferent to Hulalio's jealous gaze and the strange atmosphere. Freshly made soybean milk, rich fragrance, and incredibly soft fried dough sticks the kind I like best. After breakfast, I remembered a habit. How does Chibicho know this? I slowly turned to look at him, just catching the slight corner of his mouth curling into a faint smile. Eyes flashing affection, grinning mysteriously. Hot soybean milk, soft fried dough sticks. Every bite is more blissful than heaven. Thank heavens, I sighed. The comments started again. I seriously doubt this girl is a female agent sent to seduce the male idol. Don't be angry just because you're annoyed. All these years, Chibi-chan's had no scandals. Maybe it's thanks to our cute baby. I thought your brother was gay. That's why you got dumped. I've never had anyone break fried dough sticks for me to drink soybean milk. No wonder he's not a best actor. Theft. Does sister upstairs think if her brother-in-law serves her fried dough sticks with soybean milk she can become a best actor? Seriously? Back when my idiot brother was young, he was so handsome. The comment focus shifted from Chibi-chan being converted to the soybean milk and fried dough sticks. Anti-fan comments appeared but were mercilessly shut down by true fans. Is the online community losing its mind these days? I pretended not to hear. Chibi-chan smiled faintly at the others. Then he frowned slightly, curling his lips. Say nothing more. After breakfast, the production handed us mission cards. Chibi-chan and I were tasked with mushroom picking. I know this. I got excited, put on a straw hat, and marched up the mountain with the basket. Chibi-chan followed leisurely behind. Calm and unhurried. I was furious, couldn't help urging him on. He looked at me with playful eyes, voice deep and charming, no rush. My face flushed confusingly, signaling myself repeatedly. He wasn't implying anything else after rain 2 days ago. Mushrooms on the mountain were plentiful. In my left hand a bag of mushrooms, right hand another bag quickly filled. Chibi-chan leaned against a tree, playing on his phone. Under the sun, his delicate jade-like hands held the sleek new phone. His slightly open collar revealed balanced collarbones. Casually glancing at his phone, I caught his eye. His gaze flickered, red lips curling slightly. In front of the camera, his charm was uncanny, like a Thai male model. Then he slowly approached. I felt uneasy. He drew near. A flawless face appeared. My heart skipped a beat. Mushrooms dropped around us, no one else, only a distant flycom. Tense, I swallowed and struck preemptively. Chibi-chan, what do you want? The man bent slightly. I slopped on my phone. Give me your phone. Instinctively, I hid it. I thought this bastard wanted to steal it. Chibi-chan frowned slightly. I sheepishly smiled. That broken phone of mine's probably better left on the floor. Chibi-chan didn't even glance, taking my phone. Calmly sat, unlocked Quack Chat, and nearly choked. Who asks for a girl's crop chat like that? After adding him, I impulsively checked his profile picture. My expression instantly changed, and the phone dropped. Chepiching satisfiedly watched my changing face. I exhaled. Why, you still keep the photo? He smiled faintly, teasing which photo. Before I could answer, he realized you mean the circle of friends photo? I gritted my teeth. He said, pathetic, cold, and arrogant, no more of a celibate male idol. Now you're just a loser. He chuckled. That girl was the one who converted me. Looks like she stole something from me back then and promised to return it was found. I was furious, speechless. An honorable man would rather die than bear shame. Only he can prove his purity. I'm lying. What did I steal? I hadn't even met you then. Chibicha's eyes sparkled, lips curved. I'm saying you stole my stuff. I opened my mouth in stunned silence. Back then, my dad hadn't yet become wealthy. Life wasn't as good as now. I've been left living with my grandfather. Once my father visited with a popular French lace dress, shimmering fabric beyond compare. I asked him, take a photo for me to remember. Within 2 days, I unwittingly revealed it to the girl I just met online. To hide my identity, I told her, that's my beautiful little sister. That successfully tricked her. Why I had to pretend as a boy? It was my blind paranoia. At the time, obsessed with Sherlock Holmes, I fancied myself a detective, with some looks to boot. I'd always felt exposed would lead to capture, but I never imagined that sweet-talking girl would confess to me. I didn't understand the insult. I just worried a kind girl like that would go crazy because of me. My fragile heart then bore a heavy burden. I panicked and immediately blocked her, never logging into that account again. I felt my armor about to be pierced, but I had to hold on until then. Looking at the man before me, feigning pain, I said, that's my sister. She passed away a year later. Memories are few, maybe you understand. To best actor, can you forget this? Kai Bi-chen casually waited, then lowered his voice. You deceiver of 3 generations. Where's my sister? Damn, I thought I just lost the outer layer but ended up losing my whole armor. I rolled my eyes, asking if I feign like a heroine in romance novels. Does everything get solved? Chippy Chen sat lightly and stroked my hair. Before either of us could speak, the director arrived. Wow, you two finished fast on the mission. Why did most mushrooms fall to the ground? I crouched down, avoiding Chippy Chen's gaze, picking up mushrooms while the director helped gather them. Back at the homestay, other teams returned too. Tuan Ne winked to Do. What happened to your hair? I touched my head and felt weak. No way. I clearly had a pothole nest on my head. Before millions watching the live stream, I looked at Chibicha nearby. He seemed distracted by something else. I huffed, whispering, met a puppy that messed up my hair. Tuan Ne was more surprised, huh? Got chased by a dog while picking mushrooms? I nodded silently. Sign inside a dog is a dog. Our team picked mushrooms. The other 2 teams handled chicken and picked some leafy greens in the garden. Because the homestead was special, there was a wood stove. After division of labor, men prepared firewood, women cooked. I picked greens. Tuan Ne washed mushrooms. Since Hururo had been mocked by Che Biching, she feared messing up her image and only helped Tuan Ne lightly. Tete, you know chicken is tough, she sighed. Li Ziyan and I got unlucky, choosing a big rooster and a hen. When cutting the rooster's neck, nearly severed it, but it kept tilting its head, hopping around. Tuan Ne couldn't help complaining about the hardship of killing chickens. Eventually, we managed to restrain the rooster. On the way back, I had to prop the rooster up, but it lost all its teeth, dropped some on the road, or got caught by a stun gun. Didn't realize the rooster at times. I was annoyed. Tuan Ne complained gently. Vivi putting the hen in. It saw the nearly dead rooster and attacked us desperately. Maybe they thought they were husband and wife. I frowned, interrupting her. Nah, you all picked chickens from the same cellar. Maybe they really are married. Living together half their lives. Tuan Ne didn't consider that. Stunned, mouthed agape for 15 minutes, then sighed softly. Joy and sorrow don't always resonate. Luckily, you guys didn't share a bed, but in death got killed in the same place. I said, what? You're telling Granny stories. That meal was chaotic but finally came together. We made chicken soup with mushrooms, stir-fried celery with chicken, stir-fried greens, and sheep omelet. The egg too was from the hen. At last, the family could reunite, though only 4 dishes, neatly arranged on large plates, random positions, with me sitting next to Tepi Chen. I teased since my clone account was gone. Chan couldn't take revenge on me during the show. After filming, I apologized to him. Others ate first. My habit was to eat soup before rice. I scooped a bowl of chicken mushroom soup, fragrant as ever. After a few bites, a bright red spot caught my eyes. My face went blank. It had blended in unnoticed. A red mark against the white body. It didn't rest on boards, in a coffin, then buried somewhere on the mountain. Buried in the mountains. Chen, sitting beside me, was the first to notice something wrong. Nian, what's wrong? I cried without tears, raised the bowl, and shouted with all my might, "Everyone, don't eat Chen's pupil." My eyes narrowed, showing horror and unease. So embarrassing, a grown woman carried upside down to hospital by Chen. On the way, my mind was dizzy. I thought I'd die from being upside down, not from poisoning. Unexpectedly, I hadn't died from poisoning yet, met an ex from 800 years ago. At the hospital, I was rushed to emergency, forced vomiting, lavage, blood tests, a whole series of rigorous procedures. At last, all stopped, but the final diagnosis was no poisoning. What? I'm dizzy. No poisoning. What's the red mark then? I was still dizzy with stomach pain. Regarding this, Dr. Flirting smiled. You were carried running 800 meters, asked if the carrier got dizzy or stomach pain. Learning I was okay, the director sighed with relief. Only heaven knows what happened just now. The show's live stream dominated the top 3 hot searches. Dr. Flirting, wearing a blue-white coat and gold-rimmed glasses, looked elegant. He sternly scolded me. Tutu, can you not make people worry a little? You're not 3 years old anymore. You can't even eat a mushroom without poisoning yourself. He said it over and over. I panicked. He still scolded me as before, just like back then when Chibichong sat beside me, expressionless, interrupting him. Thanks for your concern, doctor. Tutu has me to care for her, so don't bother him again. Chiuting frowned, looking at Kabicheng. Kabicheng seemed to be Tutu's new colleague. Better get acquainted. I'm Tutu's boyfriend. I immediately corrected ex-boyfriend. Shibichun's face darkened, eyes squinting, brows furrowed suspiciously. The tension in the ward thickened. I awkwardly interrupted both. Does this mean I'm discharged? Anyway, I'm fine now. Don't waste national resources. A crowd piled into taxis returning. On the right, I looked everywhere but couldn't find my phone. Had to borrow Chebichen's. I borrowed his phone and opened the group chat. Indeed, the whole nation knew Kyutonian had made a huge mess. Kyutonian ate poisonous mushrooms. Kyutonian denies poisonous mushroom rumors. Kyutonian and the red mark. Kyuhai. I sighed. Things were truly hot now. I noticed the hot surge climbing quietly. Kyutonian, Chibichen, and the sweet princess hug. I choked, blood spitting out. Hug the princess? What? Netizens fiercely divided. Kyutonian is clever, just a 99th ranked rookie, and instantly famous with this trick. Also cozying up to the best actor, no worries upstairs. Don't say that, don't joke about life and death. Eating poisonous mushrooms is no joke, so reckless. This was an accident. Who forced the idol to hug Tudeo? Ludicrous. Joking about this? Honestly, the one cozying up is Artude. Seeing a rival blogger trying to smear my name. I thought, change your ride if you want. Arriving at the filming location at dusk, the show wasn't over yet. When we got off the bus, the director hurriedly signaled the cameraman to film our pale, vulnerable faces. Tuan New was first to rush over Tutu. You okay? I shyly covered my face. I'm fine. Just a misunderstanding. The mushroom wasn't poisonous, just a psychological effect. Everyone don't worry. Hururo shoved toward the camera. Tutu, was the mushroom poisonous? Why do you look pale? It's like not chatting normally, but joking. A paling is like acting. A familiar warm voice sounded behind me. Miss Who? What made her pale can be many things: low blood pressure, mood swings, nervousness. Steady medicine more, please. Still wearing pure white. A white shirt with blue tie underneath. Tall at 185 meters, shirt unbuttoned, revealing skinny collarbones. New clean white coat draped outside. This kind of uniform was truly charming. Compared with Juiding's gentle breeze, Chebicheng was straightforward and sharp. You don't read much, so no knowledge for you. The live stream exploded with fans' screams. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm in love with another man. All my vegetables, I want to eat them all. All shows are mine. Let me take a bite. My sisters too. Where did this man come from? Can he be shipped? 2 portions, please. Don't fight me. He's my grandfather's fiancé. Ruining others' engagements is immoral. Wait till I talk ethics with Miss No Ethics here. Humalil was furious. Wanted to die behind the camera's corner, glaring fiercely at me. She joined the show to boost her heat. Last time Calton cozy up to the best actor, now me. Even a newbie dares to defy her now. I played innocent. I wonder why Trioting showed up here now. The director introduced him. Everyone meet Dr. Trioting, our show's special guest. Chippy Chen sulked back to his room, shooting me a fierce glare. Why does everyone glare at me like that? I couldn't fly away or hide in the room. I finally pulled out my sturdy pillar, unlocking it. Great. After dozens of calls, most were from my parents, with some missed calls from unknowns and from my manager. I opened the family group chat, typing Princess life is fine. No need for the retired emperor or grandpa to worry. Then I called my manager. Before I could ask, the fierce Hadong lioness Vutu shouted, scaring me and dropping the phone. Demian, didn't you say to build a fragile image? Look what you've done. Oh no, I said. No wonder something fell off. Turns out I have tossed that fragile beauty image aside. Miss Vu, I hear your excuses, but you really must follow my orders. But who knew Fate would have other plans? Miss Vu smiled coldly. Fine, good excuse, sounds just right. Without paying attention, my mouth ran wild again. Alim, Miss Vu meant you're explaining. Explaining, this morning you mumbled about image building. But it's all because of Chippy Chen's influence. Shut up now, no bad-mouthing my idol. Still got a score to settle with you. Back then you converted the idol, causing him huge psychological damage. I'm telling you, if you don't convert him back straight away, my head will explode. Failure, more failure. My manager, a cold-faced goddess in her 40s and a long-time Chippy Chen fan, was quite fierce. To unbuckle a belt, find who tied it first. Only Chippy Chen could stop Miss Vu's tantrums. Hey, do you want Chippy Chen's autograph? I'll get it for you. The line on the other end went silent. Suddenly sobered, my brain twitched. Why did I say that? Didn't you hear me? You heard wrong. I meant, do you want my autograph? Miss Vu sadly replied, one grandma's leg. I have plenty of her autographs. Haha, Miss Vu jokes around. My grandma's leg's still on her. You dare take it. I won't even give. Stop talking nonsense. If you give me 50 photos signed by the idol, we can call it even. Under her threat, I was cornered. Then she said building an image was still well accepted online. The heat remained high. Consider it done. She hung up before I could answer. Just after the call, the phone rang again. I answered, my fragile madam, your majesty, what's wrong? A soft female voice with dramatic sobbing. Good girl, please don't join such skill training shows anymore. It's too dangerous. Mommy worries about you so much. My head was buzzing. I feared no corporal punishment from Dad, but Mom's whining tone scared me most. She's from Shanghai, voice so melodious. Characteristic Shanghainese. Married Dad, spoiled by him. I ran away from home to avoid her chatter. Otherwise, she would nag non-stop in dialect. Mom, no, I already signed the contract. Can't break it. A throat clearing from Dad was heard. He was probably eavesdropping nearby. Mom, if you have the money, daughter won't be afraid. I'll pay the contract compensation. I seriously said, but I'm grown up now. Don't want to rely on parents. It's my dream after all. After reassuring her for a while, she finally calmed and made me swear. No eating mushrooms anymore. I swore I'll never eat poisonous mushrooms again. I tossed the phone aside, took a shower, and rested. Anyway, I was utterly exhausted today. Next morning, just out of bed and opening the door, I saw Chippy Chen outside. He was scrolling through his phone, looking sullen like an upset child. Even I softened, asking, Chippy Chen, what are you doing? He looked up with a resentful expression. Why didn't you answer my messages last night? I waited all night. Looking at his dark circles, I wasn't worried. I overslept. Come on, or we'll be late. I tugged his sleeve forward. This time, the feeling was familiar as when we chatted online back then. Besides, my clone account is gone now. What do I have to fear? Chippy Chum said nothing, following me downstairs. But he smiled faintly, almost imperceptible. After breakfast, day 2 filming began. Due to yesterday's incident, the team implemented stricter safety measures and revised all dangerous activities. Tonight, we had to collect snails in the fields. I carried a small bucket near the riverbank. Chibi-chan strolled behind, hands in pockets. Once cameras moved away, he suddenly quickened pace, feigning to ask, "Teddy, did you check your phone?" I shook my head, no time for that. Chibi-chan frowned. Why not check? I thought he looked off. Whether I checked or not shouldn't concern him. But I didn't want to provoke him, remembering I still owe my sister 50 autographs. Yesterday I sneakily watched him, now interrogating Chibi-chan on when he'd signed 50 autographs all at once. His eyes lit up, standing straight whenever. My tone dull, barely hearing what he said behind me. What a pile of debt! My mind was lost in clouds since long ago. I wondered if Kuthito wanted Chibi-chan's batch autographs. Are you listening? His hoarse voice tinged with anger. I was drained, replying briefly yes. He proudly snorted. So what will you do? What? My face full of confusion. What did you say? Okay. Hey, you're ignoring me. Chibi-chan walked away angrily. I helplessly waved a hand men have mood swings. Even after lunch, Chibi-chan ignored me. I was about to find a chance to coax him and trick him into signing 50 autographs. I seriously thought if I gave fake Chibi-chan autographs to my sister, chances of survival would be 99. Just headed upstairs when someone called me. Tuta, can you come out? I looked up. It was Chiuting pleading. He wore white sportswear, like in college. I considered them nodded in agreement. He went out first. Minutes later we met again. To avoid unnecessary drama, I didn't see Chibi-chan standing at the second floor window, lips pressed tight, face gloomy. A moment later he went downstairs. Go, why are you looking for me? I leaned against a tree and coldly asked Chiuting. After hesitation he said, Today, do we still have a chance? I met his hopeful eyes. I said seriously, Chiuting, from the start we were a mistake, and it was inevitable. Before, Chiuting and I are very different. I'm arrogant, he's gentle and romantic. No outcome was possible. When young, my family was so poor I only met parents once a year. But from grade 3, Dad suddenly had good luck and quickly got rich. My life changed drastically. Dad had only me, so I became a very picky eater. Same with men, Dad taught me how to judge men early. Before college, I cared little about men. But at the first year New Year's party, I met Chiuting. His beauty stunned me. He was a med student. I was the school's belle, like a romance plot. We naturally grew close. Finally, paired up gentle handsome guy and innocent charming girl. But too much gentleness harmed those around him. He had childhood friends, a little sister admiring him, and enthusiastic senior sisters. He stayed calm like air conditioning. I witnessed many shady encounters but saw him never intervene. The last time I directly confronted him, he smiled and said, My views are old-fashioned bureaucrat. I broke up on the spot. Don't preach at me. Land changes. Nature doesn't. There's a saying dogs with 4 legs are rare, but 2-legged men are everywhere. All born spoiled by parents, why endure others' troubles? Since then, he could be as gentle as he wanted. I stopped caring. Lived happily ever after. Chiuting was done. Knowing me, he didn't drag it out. Finally, I sighed, comforting him. Forget the past, live well for yourself. A tall man with reddened eyes in surprise. I sniffled. I'm really a steel-hearted woman. I laughed. Halfway, a big strong hand pulled me back. The mountain handler was quiet. The strong arm belonged to a man. In that moment, I recalled crime clips from Dozo. Tears streamed down. I couldn't hold it, only blaming who called me out. Chiuting. I won't forgive you. Suddenly, I smelled familiar magnolia. My eyes shifted from sadness to anger. Sure enough, when he turned around, it was Chibi-chan. You're crazy? Chibi-chan was slightly surprised to do. Am I scaring you? I was annoyed. Next time I'll find a rough 2-meter-tall guy to choke you and see if you're scared. I shoved him away, striding off. Chibi-chan calmly followed, his voice bitter and sharp. Kryptonian. Your judgment was awful. I ignored him then. He snuck a glance. No better. A pure, generous man who loves his wife like life. Before you, surely no room for others. I stopped, suddenly thinking sight, and went on. Chibi-chan was incredibly frustrated, stepping up and grabbing me. Kyotonian, what do you mean? Am I still not enough? Since debut, no ambiguous moves with women. I'm definitely a good man. I nodded repeatedly. Of course I believe Chibi-chan. Only hate to train iron into steel. In that case, why don't you accept me? I frowned, eyes involuntarily meeting his expression. I gloomily said, because you have no scandals. That's what I'm worried. Chibicho's voice trembled. What do you think of me? I swallowed, feeling I really need to apologize. After all, I destroyed a good man. Sorry, Chibichene. I was clueless before, but this kind of thing, I won't discriminate. I looked at him, face flushed with emotion, patting his shoulder. I get you. Don't worry, I'll help find any type of man you want. About to speak more when his moist pink lips pressed mine. My head buzzed, too shocked to move. KB-chan angrily bit me once. I hurt and shoved him away. Trying to compose myself, I told him, KB-chan, I can help you find men, but I won't share a wife. I'm not the type to bury half my life away for KB-chan. The cold-eyed idol's veins bulged. He mocked Yan Likutanian. I'm straight, not only straight but big. If you don't believe me, touch for yourself. My petite face flushed. Well, that's not very good. Still curious, my obedient small hands wanted to reach out. But before I acted, the director shouted, Bichan, to Neon, where are you? Haven't seen you. I disappointedly returned, almost if only I was quicker. Chibi-chan seemed to notice my mood, playfully leaning in and whispering, don't worry, you'll get your chance to touch later. Just after, his usual expression returned, walking straight inside. I followed. Treating had left long ago. Frowning, looking at me, Tanian, I licked my lips until feeling pain through my body. I stiffened, covering my lip bite marks. The comment storm exploded. Ah, I knew the idol and Toto had something going on. Look, they went out and returned together. If not dating, then what? Upstairs, sister, where did you see that? Maybe just a coincidence. Some other Oxygen fans agreed, right. Don't ruin our Kai's reputation. First floor must prove this. 2 proofs first. Male idol smiles like a fool after confessing. Second, Tudia has bite marks only from the idol. I've checked for a long time. Distinct marks can only belong to our idol, as fans just couldn't accept it. After Chiudin's question, Kabi-chan swallowed his cold smile, stepping between them. Is mine beautiful? No idea what you're implying. Lost for words. My big brother. Who asked you to say that? Damn. Tuan mistook, disbelieving, walked over and looked at them. Then realizing it was a live show, she silently shut up. Fans rushed, shouting at the best actress. Lunch was guided by villagers since no one knew how to handle field snails. If not prepared well, snails taste like mud. The next segment went smoothly, but all fans were unrestrained. They searched all day for couple pairings. Funny thing, they even paired Li Ziyan and Tuan Ne as husband and wife. I complained to Kabi-chan, come on, they're nowhere near a pair. Kabi-chan smirked with hidden meaning, saying just 2 words, not necessarily. I was extremely curious and itchy inside. Could they really like each other? This feeling lasted until the show's final day. Tuan Ne and Li Ziyan used the show to make their relationship public. Kabi-chan's expression was truly hateful. He pulled me into a car. Tutu. Don't rush. We'll hold a private meeting, much more formal. Huh? Not rushing. Do what you want, I don't care. Princess isn't easily fooled into a cage that way. Chibi-chan urgently Tutu. How can you be so heartless? You promised. I choked instantly. Don't say nonsense. Clearly, I didn't. Chibi-chan quickly pulled out his phone, played a recording. On that day I said, if you marry me, I'll give you 50 signed autographs. I've signed them all. Cannot return. I have valuable signed photos. Little did I know the show was still live. They were just filming as Hot Search exploded. All search is about a searched again. Chibi-chan proposes to Kyoto Neon. Best actor dates and proposes online. Fan groups discuss loudly. Together with the couple Tuan Ne and Li Ziyan, show searching for couples overshadowed everything. In the end, the director was desperate. Next time he'd film dating shows, not variety shows anymore.